After days of mounting pressure, speculation, and silence, President Cyril Ramaphosa has finally addressed the nation regarding the dramatic arrest of Minister Gwede Mantashe abroad, a scandal that has plunged South Africa into political uncertainty and exposed deep fractures within the ruling ANC. In a nationally televised address delivered from the Union Buildings in Pretoria, Ramaphosa appeared composed but visibly burdened by the weight of the moment. The arrest of one of his most trusted and long-serving cabinet ministers on foreign soil had not only embarrassed the country on the global stage but had also shaken public confidence in his administration's promise of clean governance and renewal. Ramaphosa opened his statement with a measured tone. Like all South Africans, I am deeply disturbed by the arrest of Minister Gwede Mantashe during an international engagement, he said. While we await the full details of the charges brought against him, I want to assure the nation and the world that South Africa remains firmly committed to the principles of justice, transparency, and the rule of law. The president confirmed that his office had been in close communication with international authorities and that Mantashe was being held in connection with an extensive investigation involving foreign energy contracts and suspected financial misconduct. However, Ramaphosa was careful not to implicate himself or the broader cabinet, instead emphasizing due process. The law must take its course. No individual, regardless of their position or political history, is above the law in this democracy. That includes ministers, public servants, and yes, even those we call comrades, he said, subtly acknowledging the ANC's long-standing culture of shielding its own. Ramaphosa's statement marks a sharp shift from the silence that characterized the government's response in the immediate aftermath of the scandal. The delay in addressing the public had drawn widespread criticism from political commentators, civil society, and opposition leaders, many of whom accused the president of hiding or trying to contain the damage behind closed doors. Now that he has broken his silence, reactions have been swift and divided. Some welcomed the president's words as a necessary step toward transparency. Others, however, were less convinced, calling the address vague and calculated. This speech is too little, too late, said DA leader John Steenhuisen. The president only spoke up because the pressure became unbearable. He must now tell us what he knew and when. EFF spokesperson Vioni Pambo went further, accusing Ramaphosa of playing both judge and protector. This so-called statement is nothing more than damage control. Mantashe didn't act alone. He is part of a system, a network of high-level crooks protected by this very administration. Indeed, the elephant in the room remains, how much did Ramaphosa know about Mantashe's dealings? The president and Mantashe have worked side by side for years. Mantashe served as ANC Secretary General during Ramaphosa's deputy presidency, and later became a key cabinet ally. That long-standing proximity has fueled speculation about shared knowledge, if not shared culpability. Ramaphosa attempted to distance himself from that narrative in his address. As president, I do not interfere with the legal processes of other nations or the operational decisions of our law enforcement agencies. If any evidence emerges implicating anyone else in this matter, including members of my administration, I will act without hesitation. Despite the strong words, many South Africans remain skeptical. On social media, the response was explosive. The hashtags #Ramaphosa speaks, #TooLateCyril, and #Mantashe arrest trended within minutes, with users debating whether the speech was sincere leadership or a carefully choreographed performance. Political analysts argue that while the statement may help stabilize the immediate crisis, it does little to restore public trust or clean up the ANC's image. This is a party running out of room to hide, said political analyst Ralph Matheka. Ramaphosa may have spoken, but people want more than speeches. They want accountability. Meanwhile, pressure is growing for a full-scale independent inquiry into the matter, one that extends beyond Mantashe's arrest and into the broader systems that allowed corruption to fester within government structures. Ramaphosa closed his address by reaffirming his commitment to renewal, reform, and accountability. Let this be the moment that reminds us all, South Africa belongs to its people, not to those who exploit it from behind the veil of power. Whether the public believes him this time, or whether the damage is already done, remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, silence is no longer an option, and the era of backroom loyalty is under siege.